Hi guys, this is John back again with another model final reveal. Today we're looking at, really I think it's a model that I would avoid like the plague, although it was quite a lot of fun and it does bring an aspect to Spitfire modelling that I've not seen before in any other Spitfire model kit. And that is the frailty of the Spitfire. It's difficult to explain, but when you compare the Spitfire and the Hurricane as combat fighters in the Battle of Britain, the Hurricane was the warhorse. It was the plane that could absorb incredible punishment and still get the pilot home. The Spitfire, on the other hand, you put a couple of 20mm cannons into this plane and it used to fall to bits. It was very highly strung and it was more of a thoroughbred than the Hurricane ever would have been. And the Revell kit, I don't know if you can see, but it brings a little bit of fragileness to modelling of a Spitfire. And it really does look like, in my opinion, it gives an idea of what Spitfires would have been like in the Battle of Britain. They were quite a fragile, very highly strung piece of kit. And yes, the pilots loved flying them, but they couldn't absorb the punishment the Hurricanes could. And Hurricane pilots appreciated that greatly. The Revell kit of the Mark 1 stroke Mark 2A, I'm going to be honest with you, it is pretty diabolical. I did say in the inbox review that I think this kit could bring something to the modeler, and that's the only thing I can say, is that it looks fragile. The underside of the model itself, I mean, yeah, it's the right colour. The wheel wells are too big, the undercarriage is a little bit spindly, but it is the right shape in frontal form. You've got that spread that the Spitfire had. The propeller does go round on this kit, but I didn't manufacture the propeller the way Revell wanted me to. The pilot inside the cockpit there is a bit diabolical. He's not particularly fantastic, and I did this kit up. I didn't want to build it to look like a run-of-the-mill, well looked after Spitfire. I wanted to give it a sort of a rough camouflage look, and I think it's sort of, I've achieved that. The canopy on the kit is not great. One of the things I found about this particular canopy is it actually had a Mark 1 canopy on the Spitfire kit, so this kit would actually be better to build as a Mark 1 rather than a Mark 2A or a Mark 1A, because it has no bulbous Thompson canopy hood, which is interesting. But it is an interesting kit to build. I did have quite a lot of fun putting this thing together, and yeah, would I recommend it? No, there are definitely better Spitfire Mark 1s and Mark 2s out there on the market in 72nd scale, but for those guys who want to put something together for nostalgic reasons, maybe you built this kit like my brother did when I was about 8 years old, and we used to play Battle of Britain and all sorts of stuff together, when we were little. He built this kit, and I built the Mark 9, and I remember it just brought back the memories of those days when I was a child putting this thing together and remembering how that kit looked. But I'll be honest with you, even the Frog kit I think is better than this. Yeah, even the Frog kit, which is it's really saying something. So that's the Revell Spitfire Mark 2A stroke Mark 1 Mark 2A boxing. As I said, I didn't really have any issues building this kit. Didn't really have any issues painting it. It went together quite quickly. There were no problems whatsoever, but it's not a very good model. It's not one I would recommend to anybody really, unless you were going to put it together for nostalgic reasons. So that's the inbox review for the Revell Spitfire Mark 2A. Hope this video has been of some use, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye bye for now.